How's it going, guys? It is me, pt1 and today I'm bringing you my first top 10 fact video. Now for this one, I may get some information wrong. Yeah. So, I'm so inspired by Matthew Santoro. So I'll have his link in the description below. Is the video that he just did today was was the top 10 battles that changed the world. Well, today, I'm going to do kind of the same thing like that. It is going to mention battles, but today, I'm going to be doing my top 10 facts, or my top 10 events that change the United States history. Now, now for this one, I think I'm making some information wrong. So if you do, please just leave that in the comments below. So anyway, let's get started. Number one is the Battle of Saratoga. The Battle of Saratoga was the major turning point in the American Revolution. It took place on October 7th, on 1777. Of course, one of the most major battles in the American Revolution. Many American and British soldiers had died that day, but mainly the United States had won that battle. Number two is the Battle of Yorktown. The Battle of Yorktown took place on, well, I don't know the exact date, but I do know the year. In the year 1781, just a couple years before the American Revolution completely ended. The final battle, the Battle of Yorktown. That was when that's when two armies had collided: the American and the French. Basically outnumbering the British army, while the Americans fought on land, and the and the and the French had blocked out the port from the outside of Yorktown, and made a blockade, and also fought in the harbor. Man, what a big day! Number three is the Battle of Lexington and Concord. I don't know the exact date on that one too. So anyway, let's just get started. The Battle of Lexington and Concord are known as the battle heard around the world, was the one that started the American Revolution. The British Army had marched had battled from Lexington to Concord, and basically killed over 200 citizens. Oh, and I'm really sorry for the dog barking and a screaming baby. So anyway, which one am I? Oh, that's right. Number four is the Battle of Gettysburg. Now most people know about the Battle of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg was another turning point, but in the American Civil War. The American Civil War, that's when the Southern states had divided, and basically said, no, we're not part of the United States anymore. So the Battle of Gettysburg had took place from July 1st to July 3rd in the year 1873 or 1872. And on the second day, President Abraham Lincoln actually gave his famous speech, the Gettysburg Address. And the final day was the battle at Bunker Hill, I think. Oh no, of Little Round Top. That's right. It was the Battle of Little Round Top. Sorry. That's when General Lee that's when General Lee's army had started going downhill ever since. Number five is the Schenectady Massacre. Now, this one does not really change American history, but does a little some way. On February 8th, 1690, Canadians and Native Americans from Canada went down to just a new developing city in upstate New York, which I live in, Schenectady. So anyway, So they completely burned down the whole entire stockade of Schenectady. Many families and civilians had died that day, including 11 African American slaves. Number six is the triangle skirt shirt fire. Um, on on March on March 21st, 1911, a factory in Manhattan, New York had burned down to the ground. Now you may be thinking, oh, it's just a fire. It happens. But this one changed our labor laws. Basically, over 200 women and girls from the age of 11, I think it's like 8 to 11, had died in that fire. That sets the law for for women to have equal rights in pay and hours as men does, and the child labor law. And guess what? There's not a single man who died in that fire. I think a couple did, but I don't know. So anyway, number seven, the Great Depression. The Great Depression was a really hard time in American history. That's when that's when that's when stock market had crashed. Businesses had gone out, and many families have been living on the streets, and that happened over a decade. As you know, on October 29th, 1929, that's when the stock market had went in a downfall. So anyway, um, what was the line? Yep. Okay. So anyway, number eight, the New Deal. This one actually ties in with the last one. The New Deal, was actually mentioned by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Those were programs to help out with the Great Depression and help with families get money and earn and make new life in the Great Depressed American. Number nine is Lewis and Clark's exploration. Lewis and Clark were actually two American explorers that actually went from the east to the west. Because during the time, because during the 18 or because before the 1800s, we didn't have the central United States and west. So then we discovered then. Number 10, the USS Maine explosion. This one, kind of like the Schenectady massacre. This one does not really affect American history, but it does a little. The USS Maine was a battleship by the American Army during the Spanish and American War. Um, on on February 15, 1898, the Maine had exploded in the Havana harbor in Cuba. Mainly thinking that was blown up by the Spanish army. But then but then but more than a century later, we just found out that the Maine actually exploded by itself, not the Spanish. Yep. So anyway, that was my top 10 facts about American history. Well, events that happened in American history. And guess what? This is a part 1 video. So anyway, I like to consider my knowledge to both of my history teachers that I had in the past 2 years. Well, in the past 3 years. I don't want to mention their names because I don't want to upset the privacy and all that. So anyway, I like to thank you, my most best teachers of all time. So anyway, I've been Titanic Play 67. Why not subscribe for more videos, and I'll soon to get you guys as soon as possible. So anyway, I would also make sure to watch out because I'll be coming out with more top 10 videos. So anyway, it's been Titanic Boys 67, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.